I am Frens Delgado, telling the story of Richard Allen.
I am Richard Allen. I was born in February 14, 1760. I was a minister, educator, and also a black leader. In 1794, I found the African Methodist Episcopal Church. I opened my first AMA church in 1794 at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. By 1786, blacks made up about 10% of the Methodist Church in the United States. And although whites and black often worship together, blacks enjoyed no real freedom or equality. Segregated seating was typically the area reserved for black was usually called the Negro pew or the African corner. I elected the first bishop of the AME Church in 1816. I focused on organizing a denomination where free blacks could worship without racial oppression and where slaves could find a measure of dignity. I worked to upgrade the social status of the black community, organizing Sabbath school to teach literacy, and promoting national organization to develop political strategies. My first wife was named Flora. We were married on October 19, 1790. She worked very closely with me during the early years of establishing the church from 1787 to 1799. We attended church, school, and worked together purchasing land, which was eventually donated to the church or rented out to the families. I have a lot of legacy and honors. One, me, honored with a feast day March 26 on the liturgical calendar of the Episcopal Church. Number 2, in 2002, Moleficete Ascente named me as one of the 100 greatest African Americans in the world. In 2010, a park in the Philadelphia suburb of Radnor Township was named for me. Fourth, the Richard Allen Homes, a public housing project in Philadelphia, were named for me. A street, Cambridge, is named for me. I was qualified as a preacher in 1784 at the Christmas conference, the founding of the Methodist Church in North America at Baltimore, Maryland. I was one of the two black attendees of the conference, along with Harry Hosier, but neither were permitted a vote during deliberations. Allen was subsequently allowed to lead services at 5 a.m., which were attended mostly by blacks. Eschewing Asbury and Hosier's circuit riding practice, he moved to Philadelphia, a center of free blacks. In 1786, me became a preacher at St. George Methodist Episcopal Church in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but was restricted to early morning services as he attracted more black congregants. The church vestry ordered them to be in separate area for worship. And Absalom Jones, also Methodist preacher, resented a white congregants, segregating the blacks of worship and prayer. They decided to leave St. George to create independent worship for African Americans. This brought some opposition from the white church as well as the more established blacks of the community. In 1787, me and Jones led black members out of St. George's Methodist Church. Me and the others wanted to continue in the Methodist practice. Me called their congregation the African Methodist Episcopal Church, converting a blacksmith shop on 6th Street. The leaders opened the doors of Bethel Church on July 29, 1794. At first, affiliated with the larger Methodist Episcopal Church, they had to rely on visiting white ministers for communion. In recognition of his leadership and preaching, in 1799, I was ordained as the first black Methodist minister by Bishop Francis Asbury. He and the congregation still had to continue to negotiate white oversight, oversight and deal with white elders of denomination. A decade after its founding, the AME Church had 457 members, and in 1813, it had 1,272.